microphone, Shaun?
Yeah, you can do.
Do you want that? It's up to you. There you go, mate.
Well, I've done my bit for the circle thing this evening. I've brought myself. When my mate Tony said about doing stand-up, I just, I thought stand-up, and then I thought, you can't expect miracles. You know what I mean? Even Jesus had a bit of a buffer before it all kicked off for him. You've got to build up. But tonight I'm going to talk about you're lucky because now you're going to get the disabled guide to the galaxy. It's stuff you've not seen, you've not heard about before. So I'm going to talk about little stories with my chair and sort of how that all fits into my life. So we'll talk about that. And the first thing I want to say is, do you know what the first thing people always say to me is? They always say, was you born in a wheelchair then? I always think, I smile a bit because I know they don't really know what to say, but I always think, well, no, not really, because look at the size of this. That would take a vagina the size of China, wouldn't it? Really, if you think about it. So, no, I was not born in a chair. And another thing, to be honest with you, is there's so many distractions today in the world, isn't there? I was going around the other day and on our pavements, I don't know if it's the same in Salford, I bet it is, there's just loads of dog muck everywhere. So I'm looking, trying to avoid dog muck, and then I look, and if the dogs aren't doing it on the pavement, they're sort of in prams. I seen a dog in a pram the other day. So my brain is squirting about everywhere. So there's no way I could, even if there was that imaginary vagina, I don't know if I could reverse any of it, to be honest with you. Spaces are very tight. I mean, as you've seen tonight, I nearly cleaned an audience member out, and that wasn't participation, was it, lad? So spaces are tight, and that's the other thing. People, I want to ask, have we checked the disabled toilets? Because it says accessible toilets, but every time you go in, there's usually three things, right? You always get an embryo of a vac, 7 mops, and you get a crate of out-of-date beer crates, and your help cord, which is your way out, your help cord, that's the clue, help, it's tied up. So I mean, by the time I've got out of that, I need a fucking beer, I need a beer. By the time I've got out of that, I need to keep the beers. So that's that really. But when I'm not sort of being distracted by dog muck, I am a fan of the Marvel stuff, because there's so many Marvel films now, isn't there? And I'm convinced, I'm a bit different though, because when people say to me, they say, he's a super lad, him. So I know I am. They've told me hundreds of times, he's a super lad, him. So that's the proof in it, I'm super. So I'm going down the street, I can avoid dog muck, I can avoid dogs in prams. And then all of a sudden, I got a test for this one day. I'd never seen it before in my life. I was going down our street, and this lady was quite a large lady, but she was on a scooter, right? And it was a very windy day, so windy the trees were blowing down. And I don't know whether it's the aerodynamics, but she leaned over to take a corner, and then all of a sudden, the scooter, it was like storm chasers, you know how it blows an house over? It just went, fuck off. And I've never seen anything like that before in my life. And I know you shouldn't laugh, because she went down pretty fast, but I thought, I'm never going to see this again in my life. So I was stunned. I thought, this is a gift, this. And then I was laughing to myself, and then I thought, your Good Samaritan gene kicks in, doesn't it? I thought, you've got to try and do something. But, everyone's a Good Samaritan today. You've got to go for it. You've got to try and do something. So I went over, and, I'm realistic. I looked at her and I thought, she's like 25 stone. I go to the gym every day, but there's no way. You've got to be realistic. There's no way I could pick her up. So, and as I glanced over, I was mortified. All I saw was loads of cornettos falling into a grid. And I've got a very sweet tooth, so that's a sin. You can't waste food like that. You can't waste food like that. So I said, I said, all right, love. I said, come on, let's get some of these cornettos out, love. I'll help you shift them. So I did. I ate quite a few. And as far as I know, she was safe. But after I ate the cornettos, I wandered off, to be honest. But I do think, as far as I know, she was safe. But that leads me on to my next little story, really. As I said, I've got a very sweet tooth, and I love travelling. And I was in Amsterdam once, and well, more than once. I'm in there, aren't you? I was in Amsterdam once, and I went in the little cafe, and I thought, I wonder what all that space cake thing's about, because it's the first thing all the young kids want to ask. When does the cafes open? So I thought, oh yeah, I'll try that. I want to know what it is. And another good thing with the chair, well, I say good, I'm sat down now, but another good thing about it is you get sort of special treatment sometimes. Even if you say, I don't want it, you get like massive ice creams. People just come up to you and say, does he want an ice cream? Give him an ice cream. So I was in this cafe and I was looking at it and I was pointing at this board. It was like cannabis McDonald's. I just pointed to it. I said, what does that do for me? What will that do? How far will I go on that? You know, and I said, I've got just a small piece. I've got to get back to the hotel. I said, just small. You know, and he gave me the biggest block you've ever seen, and I don't know what possessed me, but I said, put a bit of whipped cream on it, because I'm on holiday. And you know what? He did. He put loads of whipped cream on it, said enjoy yourself, and he gave me a little spoon, and I sat there eating it to myself, this massive block, and then, do you know what? I thought to myself, I thought I'd go all like dead happy and Bob Marley. I thought I'd be hugging everybody. And you know, crying it straight off, I'd be dead happy. But I didn't, that didn't happen, not at all. I just went dead paranoid. I thought people were chasing me, and I drove out dead fast, like something in Train Spotting. And I just remember thinking, you know, I've got to drive out of here as fast as I can. It was like that bit in Train Spotting, it was like, choose life, choose cakes, choose getting loads of crumbs on your pants. So that's how that went down. And do you know how people say, like, I'm going on a pub crawl? Well, I went on like a mini cake crawl. I just stopped at every bakery I could find. And as far as I know, like the lady on the scooter, as far as I know, I got back to the hotel. I thought to myself, I've had a good innings. If I die, I die. You know, and then on that cheery note, I went to bed. I woke up, and then I'm going to get to my final story now, which is there's the other thing that everyone does when they're in Amsterdam, isn't there? You know, you can't go there without going to the red light, and you know, this thing's got sat nav for it. I tell it not for go. I tell it not for go, but it's got sat nav every time it finds it. And but there was this one time in I mean, my favourite thing about Amsterdam is it's flat. You know, my batteries never run out. My batteries never run out. That's not me ego. My batteries never run out. So I thought to myself, I'll test it out, right? I rung this bloke up and I'd explained about the chair. I thought, so there's no awkward feelings, just tell this lady. You know, and being Dutch, he forgot. And she turned up and she just thought there'd been a mistake, like I'd ordered a pizza. I said, no, there's no mistake, love, bed's there. And to be honest with you, I didn't realise myself, but I jumped out of bed like I was Usain Bolt. I didn't realise there was that much speed in me. But I sorted that out. But this lady was adamant. She was having none of that, and that's when I learned a lesson really that day. That no matter how much you can talk and how much you want to say things, there's just some people sometimes who are going to see things the way they want. You know, it's just a view. You know, and this lady saying she didn't want to do that, well, it was gutting to be honest at the time. But I got a really good poem out of it because I'm a poet. So I'm going to finish with my poem, if that's all right. Cheers.
Can I just, do you want the mic stand?
Yeah, if you can just put it on there, yeah. Cheers. Yeah, so, and just to say as well, like, the poem, oh, sorry. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, just to say as well, that the poem does end on kind of a bit of a sad note, but it was better because the lady who came after this, she loved the church. She had a bit of a fetish for it. I said, if I don't need it, you can take it home. You know, you can have it if you want. So this is the poem, and I have books for sale if anybody wants one. Yeah, so this is the poem. It's called Rewriting the Invalid Cart. I'm calm, I'm ready. I opened the door. She didn't even bother to ask my name. I'm calm, I'm ready, but I wasn't prepared for the words that came. Yet they're only words. What harm do they do? She looked at me and said, it's not you, babe. Don't take it to heart. I know do, the invalid cart. And well, to be honest, I prefer longer legs too, babe. But you take the next best thing. You won't hear me complaining. I'm no king. Do what you like. Do as you please. I wasn't expecting Alicia Keys. If anyone knows the Bob Dylan song, it ain't me, babe. At this point, I felt like singing that. But there are no good words for the things you can't do. I felt such sadness, like anger, instantly turn the room blue. Sticks and stones can't burden my bones. You can't break what's broken anyway. So I dimmed the anger in my immediate voice. A choice is a choice. All I could do is accept, for a choice is a choice, however misinformed. She looked at me again, as she did from the start, and said, it's not you, babe. I know do, the invalid cart. No matter was then the thought. If you had sex with my mind, you wouldn't last 2 minutes anyway. So if I'm not your poison, if I'm not your pill, though you hit me hard and left me like roadkill, it's a short wound, but not a bit of grudge. I won't stand still.
Oui.